Hey y'all. So, today is law of cosines. We've worked with law of sines, and now we have a law of cosines. Again, it's for oblique triangles, triangles that do not have a right angle. This is what you need. Law of sines, you needed two sides and an included angle. So if you have two sides and an included angle, but also if you have all three sides, if they do not give you any of the angles, but you have all three sides, you can use the law of cosines. Here is the law of cosines. C squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2 times a times b times the cosine of c. Now, the cosine of c, this is the angle that you have or the angle you want. So if they've given you two sides and an included angle, that included angle must be c. If they've given you the three sides and they're asking you to find an angle, the angle you want, it has to be c. Remember, lowercase letters are sides, capital letters are angles. So in the triangle, capital A is across from lowercase a, angle, side. Capital B is across from lowercase b, angle, side. And capital C is across from lowercase c, angle, side. The letters might not be A, B, and C. It might be D, E, and F. It might be X, Y, and Z. But it's going to be the same pattern. C, whatever the angle you want or the angle they've given you, that is your C. All right? All right, so example 1, copy it down. And we're going to find angle Y. Notice in this, I didn't use A, B, and C. But remember, I just said whatever angle we want, that's going to be our C. So angle Y is our C. And if this is C, then that means across, this is little c. Because we don't necessarily know if we're going to go A, B, C or A, B, C, that doesn't matter as long as you label them appropriately. So let's call this A, and this would be little a. And then let's call this B, and this would be little b. You can always relabel your triangles using A, B, and C to help you figure out where you put it into your law of cosine. We're trying to find Y. That's what we're trying to find. So that's going to be our C. C squared is 14. A is 10. And B is 21. A again is 10. And B is 21, cosine of Y. So the only thing I've done is I've just plugged in values. Now I'm going to actually simplify, and I'm going to square these numbers. 14 squared, so this is 196, is equal to 100. I think this is 441. Yep. 441 minus 2 times 10 times 21, 420 cosine of Y. Ooh, that marker is getting dry. So you can see I've just evaluated, I've simplified. Now I'm going to do some more simplifying. I'm going to add that, and that is 541. Now this right here is multiplying, so I can't do anything with this 420 yet. I'm going to subtract this 541 over here. So I have negative 420 times cosine of Y equals something negative. 196 minus 541, I get negative 345. So the only thing I'm doing is I'm just solving an equation. You're going to divide both sides by negative 420. And then because we're looking for the angle, we have to take the inverse cosine of that value. So I'm going to just type into my calculator the inverse cosine of a negative 345 over negative 420. And I get, sorry, I forgot to change my radians to degrees. So let me try that again. That's better. So y is 34.77, so 0.8 degrees. So that means the measured angle y is 34.8 degrees. Don't forget to change your radians to degrees. So it looks like a lot, and it can be confusing, but you plug it in, and then you just solve for whatever you're missing. In this example, it said find an angle, so that was our C, our angle. Whenever you're trying to find an angle, you're going to have to use your inverse cosine function. Then I just simplified, I subtracted, and I solved. All right, example 2. Copy this down. Find MN. So here's my triangle, MNP. They've given us two sides and an angle. Now we are trying to find this missing side over here. So I know that this is our C because that's what they gave to us. Since this is our capital C, that must mean this is our lowercase c. And this is our A and our B. So now I can put it into my equation. I'm looking for C. So again, this is C squared. A is 11. B is 8. A is 11. And B is 8. Cosine of 81. So for this, we have to just figure all this out. I know this is 121 plus 64 minus, what is this, 44 times, 22 times 8. 176 cosine of 81. And then this is all equal to C squared. I can add that, 121 plus 64. And this is 185 minus 176 times cosine of 81. So when I type this in, first you would have to multiply here if you were going to do it step by step because of the order of operation. But when I type all of this in, 185 minus 176 times cosine of 81. I get 157.5 round. Then we need to take the square root of both sides to find C. So the square root of 157.5, and we get 12.5. So that means MN is about 12.5, some sort of dimensions, inches, centimeters, whatever. And it should make sense because while this is, while this is not a right angle because it's 81 degrees, 11 and 8, so it would make sense that this is about 12.5. It's the biggest side. If you got some answer like 40 or 30, then that wouldn't make sense for this triangle. Also, if you got an answer like 7, 5, 4, it wouldn't make sense for this triangle. So the fact that we got 12.5 makes sense for this missing leg. Again, here's your formula, and just know that you can rewrite any triangle using the C and the A and the B by finding the angle that you want or the angle that you need. All right?